Hey everyone, welcome to the Reddit branch. Today we have interesting stories from Reddit that I would love to hear your opinion about. So feel free to let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for content like this every day. First story. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter to cancel her marriage? I have a daughter, 27, who was with her boyfriend for 7 years, and they got engaged not long ago. Just a small party, not many guests. She always talks to me about how she loved him, how he always listens to her, and he was made for her. I have agreed with her since I found him to be a good-natured man. He was kind and humble and was always respectful to our family. We have met his parents for dinner twice or thrice, and they hit me as a little sexist, asking questions to my wife like, I don't know why you're working, isn't that the husband's job? It's the mother's job to be taking care of her children. Now that they wanted to make it more serious, they planned a marriage. Anyways, we have been planning about the marriage, and one day her boyfriend comes to me and says that his parents want to talk to me. I was going to call my daughter too, but he said that she wasn't allowed. I went with him and his parents started talking with me about dowry. I was confused and said that there was no dowry, and in 2020 who even gives dowry? But the boyfriend and his parents started lecturing me about how necessary it was and how my daughter would be a stay-at-home wife. My daughter has told me that she wants to continue her dream, so I don't know what this is. Anyways, they told me that I should give it a thought and told me not to tell my daughter for the time being. However, I immediately told my daughter about it and she started crying, saying she didn't know that her boyfriend was so sexist. She asked me what she could do now, and I told her that she wasn't being forced and could cancel her marriage if she didn't want it. Well, that's exactly what happened, and now her boyfriend and his parents are calling me saying I took away the love of his life, etc. On top of that, some of her friends, some were bridesmaids, said that I was a jerk for breaking up what would have been a healthy marriage. But it's my daughter's happiness that matters. So am I the a-hole here? People replied in the comments with, not the a-hole. You saved your daughter from a life of hell. Sorry she had to go through that though. I'm sure it was a shock to realize her ex and her almost-in-laws are sexist jerks. Hope she's doing okay. 7 years is a long time. How didn't this ever come up before? Not the a-hole. You didn't take away the love of his life. You took away the baby-making workhorse of his life. But your job isn't to protect him or his parents. It's to protect your daughter, which is what you did. And good thing too, because he was obviously pretending just to look that in. Imagine what he would have been like after marriage and a kid. Holy cow. Not the a-hole. This is the kind of parenting that the modern world needs. Supportive and caring, but not afraid to step in when needed. Hope you and your daughters are okay. Next story. Am I the a-hole for making my daughter sleep in a tent? I, 34 female, am a single mother to 2 girls. Jasmine, 16 female, and Jessica, 14 female. Their dad died when I was pregnant with Jess, and I had to work hard. We hit rock bottom and I was barely making paycheck to paycheck, but I managed to get a degree, become successful, and we live well now. Point is, I know how freaking hard it is to be at the bottom of society, and my daughters know this too, which is why I was livid at my daughter's actions. Yesterday, Jasmine showed me a video of Jessica cussing a homeless man out and telling him stop asking me for money, you would earn it yourself if you weren't so freaking lazy and spending what you earned on substances. When the homeless man complained about the cold, we live in England, Jessica responded, yeah, people camp for fun, even in December, you cannot complain, you're living someone's holiday. Anger was an understatement for what I felt, as I thought I had raised an empathetic daughter. Along with fighting the homeless man and making her apologize and help pay for a hotel room for a night for him, she paid $20, as well as signing her up to volunteer at a food bank, I decided to take her up on her offer of sleeping outside. I locked her bedroom door so she could not go in, put a sign on it saying closed for the holidays, pitched a tent in the garden and filled it with blankets and the sleeping bag I used when I was camping in Norway on a family holiday as a teen. I slept in the room closest to the garden for that night, so I was nearby if anything was to go wrong. She was reluctant to do it, but chose it over the option of not having access to her phone until the Christmas holidays are over. In the morning, she was crying about how horrible it was to wake up on a cold mat and get disrupted sleep due to birds. After comforting her, I asked her if she would like to do that every day like the homeless man. It struck a chord with her and she was crying over her actions, while even after the $20 she was rolling her eyes and her apology was not sincere. This afternoon, I came home from work to Jessica making a big meal to donate to the homeless people who live on the road near our house. I was proud of how she turned over a new leaf, and after taking the food to the people, my sister came over. Apparently, my nephew and Jessica were talking at school, and he asked her about her plans for the afternoon, and she said that she was going to cook for the homeless. My nephew asked what triggered that, and just told him everything. Which he relayed back to his mom. My sister says that my punishment was too harsh and just the $20 in the food bank would have done the trick, and I was acting irrationally due to my past. Now I'm second guessing myself. Am I the a-hole? People replied in the comments with, "Not the a-hole. Sounds like the apology and $20 wasn't enough. Walking a mile in their shoes taught her empathy." I would also like to point out that the poster gave her daughter a choice, either a learning experience or a punishment, losing her phone for break. And I feel that made it even better. Her daughter could have ended this up just resenting it if she had been forced to sleep in the tent with no option, but because she chose it, it had more impact. Honestly, with the way the daughter has changed her perspective so much, I would be willing to bet she's actually grateful for it if anything. Everyone should learn this lesson. Empathy is important. Honestly, you are a golden parent. Do not change a single thing about the way you're raising your daughters. It's parents like you who help make the next generation better than the last. Keep it up, definitely not the a-hole. Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling my grandma by wrong name until she gets my name right? This has been going on since forever, so I decided to do something about it. I'm 16, male, half Mexican from my dad's side, and my mom's side is Scottish. Not gonna lie, most of my mom's family is high-key racist, and there have been problems sometimes growing up. My grandma on my mom's side never liked my dad, and she was happy when they divorced when I was 7. My name is Emiliano, and my grandma always complained how hard she tried to change my parents' minds, and it's a shame I got stuck with it. And my dad told me about the revolution I was named after in their history. But literally my entire life, my grandma refuses to say it. She says it's too many syllables. I got a cousin named Alexandria and they say the whole name, and always came up with her own names. She says Leo, or once I tried to get everyone to call me Elliot as a nickname for a while. Obviously my mom's family was up for it, but my dad refused that because it wasn't my name. So it was always the same when I see them. She'll call me Leo or whatever. Even when I correct her, she says it's not a big deal and keeps calling me wrong names. I told my mom I don't like it, but she always says I'm just not gonna change her mind and there is no point in fighting it. So I decided if she's not gonna call me by my actual name, I'm not gonna call her grandma or say her right name. It's stupid, I know, but it's also bothering me more that she does not care. And all my other cousins, she says their name's fine, no nicknames. Her name is Susan, so I decided to call her Sandy. To be honest, I was scared to say it, but that look on her face was worth it. It wasn't like a surprised Pikachu face, but it was close. She then said this is not how I should address her and it's grandma. I told her, nah, I'm gonna call you Sandy from now on until you say my actual name. It got awkward after this and my mom was serious and my grandma got super red in the face. She started ranting about me being a freaking disrespectful child and this is all my dad influencing me again. My mom told me I need to apologize immediately, but I don't know what gave me the balls to not do it. We ended up leaving their house early and my mom didn't talk to me until we got home. She says what I did was out of line and I should not disrespect my elders ever. She wants me to apologize and I'm grounded until I do. I haven't talked to my dad yet about this since it just happened, but I wanted to ask if I was being an a-hole or was it okay to insult my grandma in this situation. People replied in the comments with, adults and the elderly do not like it when they're given a dose of their own medicine. You're not the a-hole. Emiliano's not a difficult name to pronounce and your grandmother is not respecting you when she's always mispronouncing it. So why should you respect her? It's a two-way street, and you don't owe her respect just because she's your grandma. God on you for sticking up for yourself and calling attention to her crap. My grandma never called me by the right name either, but that was because I have got a lot of cousins. Sounded like she had Tourette's every time she was trying to get someone's attention. To be honest, she did it with my dad and his brother and sisters too, so I just think she was a bit mental. As for you, stand your ground. Your grandma got to learn age does not automatically mean she deserves respect. You're not the a-hole. I am a big believer in what I'm about to say. Just because someone is older and has been on the planet longer, it does not give them a free pass to be an a-hole. Period. The only situation where it's actually valid to be excused is when mental health issues play a role. Stick to your guns, kid. You're old enough to contest disrespect shown towards you. And your elders should be old enough to figure out that it works both ways, not just when it suits them. This concludes all the stories we have for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to share your opinions in the comment section down below. Until next time.